Hey there, all you beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. This is Common Sense Garage coming at you. I'm Mark. Thank you for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you don't already know, I live in the wonderful state of North Carolina. And this time of year is absolutely atrocious for pollen. So those of you that are looking to move to North Carolina from other states, just know that you don't want to move down here in March, April, May. It's really bad, okay? But that's why I sound like the way I do. But I wanted to update you on what we've been doing with the Black Beauty herself, and let you know that we did get the rear gas tank completely removed. It was like, I mean, that rear gas tank, the auxiliary tank, was slapped full of diesel, and having to drain it out into multiple cans. And I have to admit, I didn't realize that there was that much fuel held in an auxiliary tank. Most of the tanks that I'm used to seeing are 5-10 gallons max. Now this thing held like almost 20 gallons just by itself. So as you can see, we got the tank completely removed. I was able to get inside and actually paint the frame inside, up underneath the tank, paint the straps, get everything else done, even painted the spare tire carrier. I told you, I'm treating this thing like my own truck. If I wanted to do it to my own truck, I would do it to his. And I want to make sure this customer is happy that I went above and beyond everything he's asked me to do so far. So here's the old tank right here that we have. And as you can see, it's a relatively good sized tank, but we also still have the main fuel tank right around here that I still have to get out. So I'm going to get the new tank put in for the auxiliary here in just a moment, show you that process going in, and then we're going to work on getting the fuel removed from the main tank and the new main tank put in as well. We didn't order a new fuel sending unit because this one was perfectly fine, perfectly capable of maintaining fuel readings like it needed to be. The fuel lines all looked good. The plug looked good, so there was no need to add extra expense to that. Same with the fuel sending unit in the main tank. We're not replacing those. Now you may be asking, why did you not replace those? Simply put, we don't need to. Okay, this truck is going to last for a long time with what's already here, and there's no need throwing money at new parts when you don't need them. So we decided we're not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead with what we have. So the new auxiliary tank, as you can see, nice, shiny, and new, bought from carparts.com. They're not a sponsor of mine, but I just want you to see that they do make and sell proper replicas of the tanks that you're going to pull out of your F-250 along this year model. So I'm just going to set you up right here so you can observe how I get this tank put back in. I'm just going to snap these spacers back on here. These are plastic, and I wanted to make sure that I did get them off so that I could paint coat, not paint, but coat the underside of the straps that held this fuel tank in. So this fuel tank is actually held in on the bottom side by two thicker plates that have been cut down the middle and split. May have been one plate originally, but this one in particular was two separate plates. And so the tank actually goes up in here. These straps hold it up top, and then the main plate actually bolts to the bottom using these bolts right here. I realize these look pretty bad, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean them up, chase them with a tap and die set just to make sure that they are not corroded, and make sure that the threads will seat and function the way that they're supposed to. I think I'll go ahead and get that done, and then we'll stick this tank back up in here Once I get the tank up in here, then I can put the sending unit back in. We're going to be using a new seal on the sending unit, so that way we won't have to worry about any leaks in the future, and we'll get everything put back together. So let's get this done. So here's a pro tip for all of you guys, and I'm sure you all would already do it if you didn't, if you already knew about it, but I'm going to go ahead and take some masking tape and cover up these main holes in the vent hole and the actual filler neck, just to make sure that no debris, no trash gets into the actual tank while I'm installing it, because it is inevitable. If you're trying to put it in, it's going to happen. There's going to be trash, there's going to be debris that gets in there, and you don't want that painter trying to clean it out. Ask me how I know. Passed up. Let's see if we can get this tank fixed up in here. All right, something a little bit like that. Yeah, that wasn't pretty, but it's okay. I just want to make sure that these straps line up, and then I can go underneath and try and get the plates and the bolts put in. Let me clean those bolts up real quick. All right, so here we go. These are M10 by 1.5 bolts. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chase the threads on the nuts, and or tap the threads on the nuts and chase the threads on the bolt itself with a M10 by 1.5, and see if we can get these things cleaned up and get all the rust off of them. Let me go get my tap. So I've already wired wheeled all of these bolts up here that you're going to see. They've just flash rusted again, but what we're going to do is we're going to put the tap in and see if we can get it situated on the bolt, and then we're going to run the bolt in all the way down, chase the threads, and then we're going to back it out, and we will have a bolt that has been cleaned. All right, we'll come back once these all get cleaned up, and then we'll be ready to put them in. So as you can see, I painted the bolts and the nuts just to cover them with some Rust-Oleum, rust preventative, just so that they have enough coverage so that they don't rust or don't have a tendency to rust anymore, and that way they don't look so bad against this brand new tank. So let's let them dry a little bit, and then we'll get them put in. Okay, so as you can see, we got the tank installed. I went ahead and sprayed the exposed stud of the bolt on both sides. Now I need to install the vent and the sending unit. So, oh, and also the filler neck. So I've got the filler neck over here. I just sprayed a light coat of stainless steel on it just so that it would adhere and cover up the rust. Like I said, all of this is surface rust. I scuffed it, cleaned it with some naphtha, and then sprayed some of the stainless steel that you can see right there on it, just so that it doesn't look so bad when you're up underneath the truck. So stick around, I'm gonna finish setting and installing the sending unit into this auxiliary tank along with the vent, and then we'll pick back up whenever I start to pour the fuel back into it. I got the vent back in, I got the sending unit back in, I got to tighten the lock ring around it right now. So I'm just gonna work my way around this thing. And make sure that I've got it completely seated in. That's as far in as that lock ring is going to go. There's no play in it. I got a plug for the sending unit, plug back up right here. There it is. You heard it snap in. I got the vent that needs to go right here. That's it. That way it will sit right there just fine. That way the bed won't squish it. And that's it. So this tank is done. I'm gonna go ahead and put the filler neck back on it and go ahead and fill it back up with the fuel that I took out of it as I'm straining it. And all right, we made it this far. I got my 5-gallon jug up here that I got my diesel fuel in. I'm gonna put it into the funnel, and I've got a rag in here just so that we can filter this fuel as we take it out. I got an electric pump, so let's see what we can get done. All right, so some of these bolts are a little bit tough to get to. Why Ford decided that they're going to put them in like this, I don't know. But I got 13 millimeters and I got 15 millimeters. Bottom nuts are 15, the tops are usually 13. Just trying to get this skid plate off. And they're being a turkey right now, so I'm gonna squirt some penetrant on just to try and get them a little juice. Try and help them out a little bit. Let them set for a minute or 10. Obviously I missed a couple bolts. Yep, on the cross member. We'll get them, I promise. All right, last 2 bolts coming out now. These are 10 millimeters. All right. Good, come out. Maybe. And she's out. Now we'll go get the new tank, put it back in, and then we can get this thing bolted back up. I'm gonna go in here and do some coating on the frame where I couldn't get to before in the underside of that pan, that skid plate that was there, and go ahead and get it done so it's out of the way. So we'll pick up whenever I have all that done. All right, we're back. And so it is another day. And as you can see, we got the gas tank put back in, everything bolted back up. I still have the plate that I did over there that I coated the inside of it. I ended up going back in here and coating the inside of the frame up underneath where the tank was actually sitting at. Again, we did not replace the sending units because they were good. There was nothing wrong with them, but I did end up touching up the filler necks on both of them so that way they match. We ended up getting the skid plate coated on the inside with 415, and like I said, I'll get that put back up as soon as we get back in into the shop this upcoming week. And so officially, other than when I pull the radiator support out, I believe all of the framework is done as far as being coated that I can coat. And so maybe we'll actually get started on this cab finally, get it to where it can be started getting prep work done on it so that we can get it rolled into the booth, get it painted, and we can get everything moving on this truck, because I'm telling you, this thing has been a monster to undertake and make sure that it gets done to the highest quality possible with the little amount of time that we have. So like I said, thanks for watching this time. I'll catch you on the next one, and hopefully we'll have a lot more done. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and yeah, we'll talk to you on the next one. Later.